Oh, hi everyone, didn't see you there. Right, today we're going to be looking at this mouse from Cherry. It is the MC 2.1. It's a gaming mouse with up to 5,000 DPI, and it's got a Pixart actual sensor in there. We've got links in the description just below if you're interested in purchasing, and if you click on those links, it should show you the latest prices available online. Before we go on to the main video, if you would do us a favour, click that like button, subscribe, click the bell as well. And that way you'll get notifications of new videos and live streams we do. Again, doing all these things helps support the channel, and helping to support the channel allows us to release more videos, better quality videos, and more content exclusively just for you. Okay, this is the box we've received, so there's not much to look at. I'm guessing this is because we've got a review sample. You'll probably find that is better artwork on the proper box, but saying that it may be not, it may be aimed directly as a reseller or a system integrator or something like that. So just bear that in mind. The box as well, it's black with it says Cherry on it and really hard to see writing, and it's got Cherry logo and a few little specs at the bottom there, as well as barcodes on the side. But the main things about it is it's the Cherry MC 2.1. It's a right-handed gaming mouse. It fits perfectly in your hand thanks to the extra flexible cable, reduced weight, silicone inserts on the sides, and easily accessible buttons. It provides comfortable and ergonomic positioning for your hand. It's got 5,000 DPI, and you can adjust that with a DPI switch. So there's a plus DPI on the actual display for the mouse, or you can do it via software. So you can actually use software with this. It's USB 2.0, so basically it works with pretty much any USB device on the market as long as it's a standard A connection. So no USB Type-C, for example. It's got a Cherry button for quick DPI adjustments on the direct access Cherry gaming software, pretty much as we said before. Individual user profile, so you can set it up for DPI depending on the person who's using it. So let's just say father and son are using the machine, or husband and wife, or whatever. You can set it up basically for each person. It's got onboard memory to obviously adjust the lighting effects, DPI, key assignment, and all the different things like that. It's got full color spectrum with 16.8 million RGB colors with various light effects, and various other things you get on basically mice. Most of this will be in the description below. Okay, so this is the contents of the box, pretty straightforward. You have got a manual. It is multilingual, so lots of different languages. Would have preferred to see a QR code, to be honest, but saying that, it does have all the information you need in there and doesn't go over the top. But again, QR codes, I think, are the way future for products, especially manuals. You do have a bag, like a popper bag, to protect which the mouse actually came in, which not too bad, I'm going to say. Still, I prefer no plastic, but it's only a little bit of plastic. It's better than a lot of products we review. Now, going on to the mouse itself. Okay, so we've got the mouse here. So as we said, it's the MC 2.1. As you can see, that is pretty much all black. You do have a wheel which has got RGB effect and a little light here. That's the DPI button, where if you press that button, it changes the DPI. It doesn't matter where you click it, it does the same thing. It's like one big long button, which really you could have just had a little one there to do the same thing. But as you can see, depending on how many times you click, it changes the DPI sensitivity, and it changes red. There doesn't seem to be a way to change that color, so that seems to stay red, unfortunately. The wheel itself feels quite nice. It's got a nice roll to it. Does feel a little, sound a little rattly. Rattly is probably the best way of doing it. It does have rubber around the center of it, so you can grip and move it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it does sound very, I don't know, it just sounds very plasticky feeling, unfortunately. The sides do have a grip on the side, so for your finger or your pinky finger, and as well as for your thumb as well. It does stop it slipping. It is sort of like rubberized, which is good. And then you've got backwards and forward button there. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot to see with the mouse. So it's left button, right button. This bit doesn't do anything here. The bottom, you do have the specifications on there and so forth. Obviously, your lasers in there. You've got 3 glide pads. There's not a huge amount to see, though, in all honesty. One thing to mention is the cable itself is unbraided, so it's just a standard rubberized cable, which is roughly 2 meters long. But otherwise, that's pretty much it from the mouse. It does look okay. It's grips well. It's quite a large mouse, I must admit, at that size. It just feels, I don't know, just it's as if it's missing something in my eyes, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. It just seems to be, it does everything what it should do, but it doesn't seem really gamey to me, if that's what it's supposed to be. The only gamey thing about it really is that you can change the DPI and it's got a flashing light, which obviously that's up to you if you like that sort of thing. Okay, so we're going to do a quick sound test of this. We've got a microphone here. It's a wireless microphone. It's 20 centimeters away from the mouse, just to give you a rough idea what it sounds like. So here we go. So this is the left mouse button, the right mouse button, the wheel going backwards and forwards, pressing down on the wheel, pressing down on the DPI button, pressing the back button, and the forward button. And now we'll do a rough experiment of how you would use it if you were, let's say, playing a game. Sliding. There you go. So that's your sound test to me. So it's all a little clicky. It's not the quietest in the world. So it could drive someone mad if you're in the same room as them and you're constantly clicking on your mouse. But otherwise, it's not too bad in all honesty. But it's definitely not what I'd class as a high-end gaming mouse. I'd say it's more of an entry option, which is ideal for probably a new gamer or a young gamer or someone who's wanting something just a little bit more colourful than just a plain black mouse. Obviously, when you've got it plugged in, it does light up a little bit. But it just seems to be missing something, maybe an RGB light around the bottom or something like that. It just seems to be missing just something. Okay, let's just have a look at the software. You can see the mouse is here connected up to the actual laptop, so you can see the screen there. We're doing a live demo, so you can see that there's no fakery or anything in it like that. But the basics is, on here, you've got different options when you've installed the Cherry utility software. Bear in mind, you have to search for it on the website. It won't be under the product details. You have to go down to support, then download, and find it that way, but it is there, so it's called Cherry Utility Software. Okay, so you've got 3 different light modes on here. You've got static, which is where you can choose a specific colour, so let's just say orange for whatever reason, and then you press apply, and you'll notice it goes orange. Actually, to me, that looks more pinky than orange, but it gives you a rough idea. So you can go green, press OK, press apply, and it should turn green, which it has done. You've also got spectrum, and you can adjust the speed as well, which is where it just basically changes between the different colours. Which, in all honesty, if you're playing a game, your finger's going to be over the top of it. You're probably not going to see the lighting anyway. And you can change it to fast, for example, and it changes really quick, and then slow obviously does the other. Breathing is basically where it just goes in and out, so you can choose a colour, specific colour. We're going to go, say, blue this time, and press apply. And as you can see, it's breathing in and out really quickly, but you can adjust that and make it slower if you wish. So that's pretty much it for the RGB effects. It's just basically on there. There is also a user keys button on there as well. If you click on that, you can create macros basically. So that's up to you if you want to do that, but you just press create and go through what you want it to do and what button you want to do it. And away you go. So the software is very basic, is probably the best way of doing it. There's no way to alter the DPI settings on here, for example, having specific levels. Bear in mind, they may update the software and change that, but there doesn't seem to be any special ways of changing anything. The only other buttons, my settings. Oh, it's up here. So my settings, which is a bit, or MS settings, and presumably that means mouse settings, it is actually there. It's hidden up here. Why it's up there, the button up there and not on the side down here with the other ones, I don't know. But there you go. You can adjust the DPI to do whatever you want. So it does actually go up to 7,000 DPI, which is a little bit strange because the sensor is only 5,000. So I don't know how you're going to add that one up, but the sensor on there is only capable of 5,000 DPI, but the software lets you make it 7,000. Oh, so either someone's not very good at math, I don't know. Someone translated that slightly different. Even the website says it's a high quality 5,000 DPI sensor. So someone's wrong somewhere. It's either the software company or the hardware side of things. But that's the basics to it. So you've got it on there. You've got your polling rate on there as well. You can change, and you've got brightness as well. So you've got high brightness, so you can actually change it to full brightness, which I'm presuming makes it a little bit of a variety. I don't really see much of a difference in all honesty, but gives you a rough idea. It's one of the usual things what you get with hardware. The software, instead of made by a software engineer, it's made by a hardware engineer, and it's like not done always the most efficient way and so forth. For example, lighting's there. User keys, which is key binding or macros, I would call that. And then you should have the DPI option here. So why is it not there? Why is it up here in the hidden little button right in the top corner? It's as if they didn't want you to find it, but it is there. Okay, so there you go. So that's the software. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. It's really appreciated you made it all the way to the end. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and even click that bell so you get notifications of new videos and live streams. It does help support the channel, and supporting the channel basically means that we can release more content for you and also better quality content going forward. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.